Hi there, I'm John Shields of Chesapeake Bites and our common table. So today we are going to be making a chocolate Guinness cake. Yes, a chocolate Guinness cake. So get ready. All right, now I'm going to show you how we put this whole thing together. All right, so obviously one of the things I mentioned was Guinness. Guinness is a lovely Irish dark beer. And as we're getting ready for St. Patrick's Day, I thought I'd give you something different. You know, we've done some other things. I showed you how to make colcannon. I showed you how to make a lovely brown bread. And now we're going to have a decadent chocolate cake with the Guinness. All right, so I got my Guinness here. I mean, you might want to cry because I just put the Guinness into a hot pan, but you're going to have to eat this. You're not going to drink it, okay? So I'm going to take some granulated sugar. We're heating this. So as the Guinness is heating, the sugars are going to kind of dissolve as we go. All right, there is the granulated sugar. Now I am going to put in some brown sugar as well. It says firmly packed, and it really is firmly packed. Get all of that in there. And then, what do we have next here? I'm going to let that dissolve just a touch. Oh, it smells good. A little bit of steaming Guinness. Nothing like it. Okay, so next I have some butter here, and it's softened already, but let me get a spoon out, and I'll put just a little bit in at a time. And then whisk it and get the butter to kind of incorporate into the liquid. I make another cake that is one of my favorites. It's called a Mississippi mud cake. And this reminds me of it from a technique standpoint very much. All right, we have some of our butter in there. And we're going to put the rest of the butter in and stir it around. Okay, look at that. The butter is just about incorporated in there. And what I'm going to do next is turn off the heat. And I have some cocoa powder. So you don't want to use a sweetened cocoa powder because we're going to have plenty of sugar in this as it is, as you see. So this is just a nice cocoa powder, full flavored, but no sugar in it. Put that over there. All right, stir that up nicely. Put this back on for a second. Okay. Once the cocoa is all incorporated in, then what else do you need in a cake? You need some eggs. So we were at the farmer's market over at Andy's, and we got some lovely local eggs. And I'm going to take those. And one of the reasons I shut the pot off, we don't want to scramble the eggs. I'm just going to mix those in right there. So we're using a few eggs, about 3 eggs in there, but also I'm using another egg yolk. Why would you want to do that? Well, it just makes it a little richer and a little nicer consistency. Beautiful. Okay, I'm also going to put in just a little bit of vanilla extract. We would call that 2 teaspoons. All right, so I got that there. I'm going to take this. Now this is semi-sweet chocolate. You want a semi-sweet. So it's got a little bitter, a little sweet. And I'm going to take this beautiful Guinness brew here. We're going to put that all over the chocolate. Nice, huh? And then over here, what I'm going to do is put together the rest of the cake ingredients. So that would be flour, baking powder, and salt. There we go. I'm putting those together. In the meantime, while this is percolating here, I'm going to get this sour cream. As you can see, this is quite the rich cake. Over in Ireland, they have lots of dairy, and they like to use it. Actually, I was at the farmer's market, and Pam Miller from Charlottetown Farm was saying that the best chocolate Guinness cake she ever had was on the Aran Islands on Inishmore. And I said, well, wait until you taste this one, and we'll see whose cake is better. All right, everything's mixed together. Next thing we're going to do, all right, we have our dry ingredients, we have our wet ingredients. Now, we're gonna take just a little at a time. I'm gonna put the dry into the wet. Now, often cakes do it the other way around, but both this, the Guinness cake, and my Mississippi mud cake, that's how we do it. We put the dry into the wet. Look at that. Now, you can probably see this is not gonna be the thickest batter that you've ever seen on a cake. And it almost, you know, it's a little bit kind of loose looking. I always think of it as sort of as a pudding cake. It's nice and dense and beautiful, rich, moist. All right, here we go. Now, I'm just stirring it enough. This is a tip. You know, whenever you're making a cake or cornbread or biscuits or anything, when you're doing your stirring, just enough to incorporate the wet, the dry together, because if you beat it too much, it actually, you can make it tough. You could have a tough cake, you could have tough whatever. All right, so I have a bundt pan, sprayed it with a little bit of oil, dusted it with some flour, and all right, gonna just stir, pour this right in here. Oh my goodness. Oh God, it smells good. And if you're lucky to have like a grandmother like I did, she would let me lick the spoon here, but I don't know. I don't know how much of that I can let you do today. Ah, this is so gorgeous. So I'm just gonna tip around here, even it up. Look at this. It's an absolutely beautiful cake, ready to go in the oven. I'm putting it in at about 350, and then we'll meet back here in about 45 minutes. Okay, our chocolate Guinness cake is out of the oven. I put it on a rack and let it sit for like about a half an hour so that we could get ready for the good stuff, the frosting. So we're back in Ireland. Oh, we're sitting and relaxing and getting ready for our cake, correct? So I got some Guinness in here, but you were probably hoping I'd have some Irish cream from Bailey's right there. So we're gonna make a frosting just like that. It's basically a cream cheese frosting. So I brought some cream cheese to room temperature and I whisked that around. Then I have some softened butter, about a tablespoon of that. I'm gonna add that and stir, stir, stir. Bring that all together. Next up will be some powdered sugar. This is an easy, I like these easy frostings. You can use this for so many different cakes. And let's say you got up that morning and you were saying, I'd like a whiskey cake. Well, you could just put some whiskey in this and it would be just a great frosting as well. There's a number of different, even local distilleries that are making all kinds of really cool whiskeys. Some of them are flavored. I saw one of them that had was an orange flavored whiskey, which would be really good with this. That could work nicely too. All right, so I'm just pulling all this together. If you can see, I'm pulling the butter, the cream cheese, all together like that. But we're gonna need something to bring it together. And I can't think of anything that could bring anything together better and families together than some Bailey's Irish cream. So it says 1, 2 tablespoons. like so. And all we got to do right now is finish whipping this up, and you have an amazing frosting. And it's really good for your arms, and you get an aerobic exercise here. Now, you could use the KitchenAid, but that's cheating, for God's sake. All right, here we go. Bum, bum, bum. All right, I have that there. So all I'm going to do is start putting some of this delicious frosting all over our cake. Oh, I can hear tunes from Ireland, people singing as you frost this. So yeah, so if you made a nice bacon and cabbage, and you had some roasted potatoes, and you're making this delicious chocolate Guinness cake, you're going to have an amazing, amazing St. Patrick's Day feast, actually. So I have that on, so I'm just going to take a knife and just kind of gently go around here, take it down the side. You don't have to cover the entire thing. You kind of want it to look like it's sort of dripping down the side of the cake. Oh, so nice, so nice. There we go. All right, now, I think we're just about there. So get everything that you have ready for your St. Patrick's Day dinner. Put this in the center of the table so they know once they finish everything else, they're going to have a great end to the meal. And until next time on Chesapeake Bites and our common table, happy St. Patrick's Day. Slán.